And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 4 of the 2021 NOSSCAR World Championship, hosted right here on Gran Turismo Sport. You can see 11 drivers lined up on the racetrack, ready to go. 2 countries represented in this race, 16 drivers in total receiving points. The red lights lighting up, folks. The green lights are on, and we're down and away. It's a good start for these drivers, and they thunder towards turn 1. Here at the Nurburgring Grand Prix layout in Germany. Enzo, the Canadian, takes the lead. Bill Baldwin in second for Team USA. And there you see Ned still chasing that first career race win in the NOSSCAR World Championship. He takes the second place position from Bill on the bottom over there in turn 3. Even Steven, the 2-time world champion, right there behind these drivers. There you see him. No wins for him this season, and you can tell it's been irking him just a little bit. There's Jesse Carlson riding along in 5th, the 2018 NOSSCAR World Champion Timac in 6th, Juicy J, 2-time NOSSCAR champion in 7th. Siltstrider, former NOSSCAR champion on NASCAR 15, just like Juicy J, and he's running in the 9th position now as Ayrton James is challenging for that 8th place position in the target machine. Ayrton, of course, a 4-time NOSSCAR champion. Many of his championships came on GTA 5. There's Shadow, scored in the 10th place position, Triple Crown winner. He has race wins in the Platinum Cup Series, Motormaster Series, and Tailgate Truck Series on the NASCAR Heat Games. And Bailey Steffler out of Canada, rounding out the field right now, and still only a handful of league races for Steffler on Gran Turismo Sport, so he's still very fresh to all of this, and I think he's only going to get better and better. And here's what the battle for the race lead looks like as of now. 2 Canadians, 1-2, with the 2-time world champion and defending world champion, Even Steven, just behind them in 3rd, and around goes Ned. It's going to cost him 2nd place. In fact, it's going to cost him a spot in the top 5. Even Timac's going to get around for 5th. Juicy J's going to get around for 6th, and that is a heartbreaker for the Canadian. Ned still chasing that first career NOSSCAR World Championship race win, and he had high hopes here for today's race at the Nurburgring GP layout, and it's going to be an uphill battle for Ned for the rest of the day. It's a 60-minute endurance race, so he still has time, and it really opens the door for some pit strategy, being such a long race for these open-wheelers, and we'll have to see if it can all work its way back around in Ned's favor at some point. There's Enzo. There's Even Steven. There's Bill Baldwin. Bill, of course, 2-time NOSSCAR Super GT Series champion on Gran Turismo Sport, but that's in the GR1 category cars. Audi R18s and Toyota TSO 50s, Toyota TSO 30s, and so forth. It's a little different here in the Super Formula cars, but he's got many podiums on his World Championship race record and still chasing that first career win just like Ned is. In fact, if we look through here, Bill Baldwin in 3rd, Jesse Carlson in 4th. They're both chasing their first career NOSSCAR World Championship race win, as is Ned, who's going to give up the 6th place position to come to pit road, get 4 fresh tires, top it off with fuel, and kind of reset his day for himself. Juicy J looking for that first win as well. Pretty much everybody from about 3rd on back, with the exception of Timac, looking for that first ever NOSSCAR World Championship race win. Timac, of course, has not won a race in this series since 2018, back when he found victory lane 7 different times and won the championship. Enzo beginning to pull away just a little bit from Even Steven. The gap not growing rapidly or anything, but it seems like just slowly but surely, methodically, Enzo is kind of getting the upper hand here early in the going in Nurburgring. Round 4, 4 of 7 for the 2021 NOSSCAR World Championship. It's the 4th annual season for this particular series. It's the Crown Jewel Open Wheel Series for NOSSCAR. Started back on F1 2014, and 3 years in a row it's been here on Gran Turismo Sport. These cars all evenly matched. You can pick between the 2 Super Formula cars, Honda or Toyota. And both of them very even Steven, no pun intended, to the driver running in second place. Oh, and problems for the two-time world champion. Hit the curb there, the turtle, the wrong way, and it shot his car to the left. Minor contact made with that outside wall, and instead of coming to pit road, he's going to keep it on the track for another lap, and here comes Bill Baldwin. And that is a heartbreaker for even Steven. Four-time NOSSCAR champion in total. He's also the most successful NOSSCAR driver in the GT Cup Series as well, in those GR3 cars. In that series, you'll see cars such as the Nissan GTR, Dodge Viper, Chevy Corvette, Ford Mustang, Mazda Atenza, Audi R8, and more. Bill hot on his tail. Jesse Carlson in the Alpine car right there with them. And not too far behind that three-car battle is the Canadian of Timac. The Canadian scored in first, fifth, and ninth, and 11th. There you see Ned. Qualified second. Had that problem over in turn one on the second or third lap. It was very early in this one, and it's been an uphill battle for him since then. He's been to pit road to repair the damage. He's got 4 fresh tires, and he's trying to work his way slowly towards the front. He is reeling in shadow just a little bit in the Red Bull machine. And it was a good battle there for 8th and 9th for a moment, but Steffler, the Canadian, gets off into the gravel trap, had no traction there, and his car went flying to the right, and he made contact with the outside wall. He's probably going to need to bring the Tim Hortons machine to pit road this next time by. It's a tough break for him. He qualified at the tail of the field and worked his way all the way up into the 8th position and lost it to Ayrton and damaged the front end of his machine. And a big problem for Jesse Carlson. He was up there in the third rather. He had just taken third away from Bill Baldwin. He got all sorts of out of shape, went off course, and now finally gets the Alpine car corrected, pointed in the right direction, and he's rolling again. But he is now dropped to the 6th place position. This puts Juicy J in the MTV car. Up in 5th, Siltstrider in the Williams Racing machine, trying to clean his tires off, you can tell there. Running in 4th, Bill Baldwin up in 2nd, and how about it, folks? 2018 World Champ Timac making a run for his first win in this series since that calendar year. And he's up there scored in P2. It's all Enzo, folks. Early in the going in Germany. Round 4 of the 2021 NOSSCAR World Championship on Gran Turismo Sport. And until this season, really, it's been the even Steven show. Defending and reigning NOSSCAR World Champion, 2-time World Champion. But he's winless so far here in 2021, and he's looking to change that. Strong out of the gate has been the newcomer Enzo for Team Canada. 3 wins in a row to kick off the 2021 NWC, and he's looking to try to make it 4 in a row here today in Germany. Nobody has ever won 4 NOSSCAR World Championship races in a row. Enzo looking to make history here tonight on Gran Turismo Sport. Looking very strong early in the going. No signs of slowing down. A little surprising, but it is great to see Timac up there in the 2nd place position. Not sure for how much longer. He's got the 2-time Super GT Series champion Bill Baldwin right behind him. Things got a little bit wild there when they were all grouped up. 4 cars battling for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. A couple of mistakes were made by a few drivers. Timac was able to capitalize, put himself in the runner-up spot, but it was a little bit short-lived. As you can see, Bill Baldwin's going to make the move to the inside down the hill into turn 1, clears Timac, and sets his sights on the race leader Enzo. Bill has been racing in NOSSCAR ever since it began on Gran Turismo Sport. Won the 2019 NOSSCAR Super GT Series Championship. Won the 2020 NOSSCAR Super GT Series Championship. Knows all about victory lane and standing on the podium here in NOSSCAR on the GT Sport game. Looking to do it again here today in Germany. Number 21 Toyota machine looking very strong. Lap times just about as equal to the race leader, Enzo. And what a battle, actually, for the 4th and 5th place positions between two drivers that began their NOSSCAR careers back on the NASCAR 15 game and have both won championships on NASCAR 15 in NOSSCAR as well. Juicy J is going to give up the 4th place position to Silt Strider for the time being. Both drivers representing Team USA. For the nation's battle this season, the top 3 drivers from every single race for each country will score points towards the nation's battle, representing their home nation. And right now, Juicy J and Silt Strider both are in the top 3 for their home country in this event and would contribute points towards the nation's battle. Both drivers beginning to reel in Timac just a little bit, and that would be a battle for the 3rd place position. There is Silt Strider, the NOSSCAR X2 Series champion on NASCAR 15 in the Williams machine. Still looking for that first career NOSSCAR win on Gran Turismo Sport, and he's still just getting started. So the fact that he's up here battling for the podiums already is really a story in itself, really a telltale sign of what's to come from this young man. And scored in the 6th place position, now reeling all of them in. The Canadian Ned, who qualified in the 2nd place position in that number 24 Toyota. Finding speed and coming to life here late in the going at Nurburgring. Leaderboard on the left-hand side of your screen. We are working lap 14 here in Germany, round 4 of 7 here in the 2021 World Championship, driving the Super Formula cars. No custom tuning, very much all about driver versus driver. And so far, drivers from 10 different countries have come and participated in at least one event so far this season for the 2021 NOSSCAR World Championship. In on a couple of drivers that had a bit of an issue earlier in this race. There is even Steven, definitely didn't take that last chicane the way that he wanted to. There you see he's going to get a penalty for it, as he is doing everything that he can to get back what he has lost, folks. Rough start for him in this one. Had to come to pit road to repair damage after losing control over in that chicane that he just had a problem in, actually. As of now, he's soldiered back to the 7th place position. And when you see cars in front of you that you know it would be a battle for position, and that's when you know you're doing something right. He's reeling them in, and that really goes a long way for a driver, knowing that what you're doing is working. When you can see the progress, it only makes him that much better, in my opinion, and even Steven starting to track down the top 5. Another driver with a strong qualifying effort, good speed every week, and that is Jesse Carlson. Scored in the 8th place position in the Alpine machine. Had problems early in this race, got really out of shape over in turn 1, found the inside wall, and went off course one other time since then, and now he finds himself in the 8th place position and a little bit of a gap in between himself and anybody else around him when it comes to in front of him and behind him. He's a little bit safe in that regards. Still a long way to go in this race, and he still has time to crack the top 5, get every point that he can, not only for himself but for the nation's battle. Enzo. Leading the race in the 24 car. Bill Baldwin up to second, looking for that first career win in the NOSSCAR World Championship. He's never won a race in this series. He's won races in the NOSSCAR Super GT Series and GT Cup Series, and would love to complete that triple crown and find victory lane here in the World Championship as well. And let's give a call to Ned, folks. Qualified second and fell back to 11th early in this race and has had to really rebound and charge back. He's made an extra pit stop and he finds himself all the way back up into P3 on the same straightaway as Bill Baldwin, who runs in second. Canadians running first, third, and fourth, and it would be pretty much nearly a max points day for Team Canada if they can hold on for what they have. Max scored in fourth, under fire from three different cars actually. Juicy J, Even Steven, Silt Strider, and it's on, folks. It's heating up for the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place positions on the racetrack. Two-time world champ Even Steven in the number 15 NOSSCAR.com car. In that yellow car, he's going to make the pass in the chicane that he's had a couple of problems in here today. Really facing his demons there, and completing a pass to take P4 away from Timac and to give Team USA a little bit of life and a little bit of hope in that nation's battle from today's event. Might not be over yet. Timac looks like he's struggling a little bit in that number 32 Honda machine, and now he's got company still from Juicy J and Silt Strider. We're going to have to see how this all unfolds. We are past the halfway mark of this race, and none of the front runners have made a green flag scheduled pit stop just yet here in Germany. The only one who has really is Ned, but I believe he's going to need to come back to pit road before the end of this one. I'll tell you, couldn't fit much more than maybe a stack of pieces of paper there between Timac and Juicy J coming through the last chicane there. And just as I mentioned, nobody coming to pit road just yet. Silt Strider, Even Steven, they both make their scheduled pit stops. They were scored in 4th and 7th when they did that. Here comes Ned to pit road as well. And this very well might force a couple of cars to come to pit road sooner than they were originally planning for. Get scheduled service, get those 4 fresh tires, put them to good use, and not lose too much track position to those drivers who have already been to pit road. So that's definitely what their strategy is. Even Steven and Strider, they didn't come to pit road because they felt like it. They wanted to come and get those 4 fresh tires as soon as possible. See if they can leapfrog some of these drivers that are just in front of them on the leaderboard, pick up some valuable points before the end of this race. Mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. 60 minutes is a long time for strategy. It really opens the door for these drivers and these race teams to form some plans and try to find a way to maybe steal the win away, maybe steal a podium spot away, get every point they possibly can before they leave the racetrack. After all, it is the 4th annual season for the NOSSCAR World Championship. Some heavy lap traffic now in front of Enzo. He's going to have to really deal with them before the end of this race. Looking low there on Jesse Carlson, couldn't quite make the move. Jesse not a very easy driver to pass, good speed all around, and finally Enzo is going to complete that pass, and now that leaves 7 cars left on the racetrack. Excuse me, 7 cars left on the lead lap rather, with 11 cars left on the racetrack, working lap 25. Baldwin commits to pit road. 4 tires, and he's going to fill the tank. 21 minutes remaining here in this one. He's going to need to take enough fuel to get himself to the end, as will Timac, the number 32 Molson Canadian machine. And getting a report, Enzo, the race leader, bringing the number 24 Toyota to pit road. It's going to be his first and only pit stop of the race. Couple of cars on the track still that have not come to pit road yet for scheduled service. Juicy J. And he's going to surrender the second place position and bring that purple and black MTV car, a very retro looking car, to pit road for scheduled service. Really cool to see that car here today at the racetrack. It's going to move Even Steven up to 4th. It's going to move Ned up to 3rd. It's going to put the 2-time Super GT Series champion Bill Baldwin into 2nd. And Enzo didn't lose anything in that exchange of the pit stops. He's got a very commanding lead here in Germany, looking to become the first driver in NOSSCAR history to win 4 races in a row in any 4-wheel series that NOSSCAR has ever hosted, really. Not even just on Gran Turismo Sport. Enzo looking to really shatter that 4th wall. Cement his name in NOSSCAR history here tonight. And at the end of the exchange of pit stops, and with under 17 minutes remaining in this race, Bill Baldwin finds himself in 2nd. Ned closing in. Looking to take that position away. It would be a 2-point swing, not only for Ned as a driver in the point standings, but for the nation's battle as well. Even Steven, only a corner behind this battle, and he scored in 4th, so we could have a 3-car dance for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th before the end of this race. Find out who's going to stand on the podium along with Enzo. It's going to take something wild and drastic to change the complexion of the podium in this point. Especially when it comes to who's going to win this race. Enzo has really gapped the rest of the field and has been head and shoulders stronger since the green lights turned on. Strider in the Williams racing machine scored in the 5th place position, not close enough to challenge in that battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Timac not too far behind Strider, and that's going to be the battle for 5th and 6th before the end of this race, because that gap is shrinking a little bit as well. Juicy J, fresher tires than the 2 cars in front of him, might be able to run them down as well. And as you can see, Jesse Carlson in the Alpine machine, right behind him in 8th. So there's a lot of positions still up for grabs here in Germany. Ooh, Enzo overdrove that corner a little bit. Left sides met the grass. Definitely not what you want in an open wheel car on Gran Turismo Sport. It's coming up on Ayrton James to put him a 2nd lap down in the number 4 Target machine. Ayrton scored in the 10th place position, logging laps and getting very valuable seat time, learning the physics and graphics of Gran Turismo Sport. Still quite new to it, Ayrton is, and it's come a long way in a short period of time. And here's what the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th looks like. Even Steven and Ned are both there. They have run down Bill Baldwin, and it's on. Who's going to stand on the podium with Enzo? Who's going to capture as many points as they can, not only for themselves, but for the nation's battle? Right now, Team USA drivers running 2nd, 4th, 5th, 7th, 8th, and 10th. Running 1st, 3rd, 6th, and 9th. Drivers from 10 different countries have earned points so far within the first 4 races of the 2021 NOSSCAR World Championship, but it has been it's been a very intense battle so far, primarily between Team USA and Team Canada. And Bill doing everything he can to keep Ned behind him. trying everything he could to not let him get alongside him, whether it was left side or right side, but eventually he had to give the room. Ned had such a good run, and he's going to take that second position away, going into the very tight, very tricky chicane before they come around to the start-finish line. Seems a couple of these drivers have problems in that section of the racetrack earlier today, so you can see and you can tell that a couple of them took it very safe, very careful. It was Ned that kind of punched it through there with very, very little care, and it paid off for him. He prevails, and he takes P2 away for now as they go into turn one. Bill not giving up. Even Steven has been right there behind both of these drivers ever since they began battling. There's Siltstrider doing everything he can to hold back Timac. That gap has kind of fizzled out, and it's staying about what it is. It's kind of stationary at this point. Juicy J right there in 7th. And Jesse Carlson not too far behind him. And Shadow scored in the 9th place position. First car 2 laps down in the Red Bull machine, having an alright day. And even Steven has taken the 3rd place position away from Bill Baldwin, so the 2-time Super GT Series champion in the 21 Toyota, Bill, is kind of fading here late in the race. Had a strategy, had a strong car, still does, but something amiss here late in the going. In the last 11 or 12 minutes of this race has fallen from 2nd to 4th, and it might be the Godfather that doesn't stand on the podium along with Enzo. Even Steven was at the tail of that battle. He was at the biggest disadvantage when it came to the track position in that war, and he's kind of just stayed right where he was, held his ground, didn't try any wild moves, didn't smoke the tires, and it worked out for him. Worked his way up past Bill Baldwin, and he's right behind Ned, and it's going to be a battle here between 2 drivers that have come to know each other very well over the last 8 or 9 months. Battle for many wins, not only here in the World Championship, but in the GT Cup Series and Super GT Series as well. Ned out of Canada, even Steven out of the USA. Enzo long gone, driving away on cruise control. Nothing to worry about, no reason to even look in the mirrors at this point. Ned has a few reasons to look in his mirrors, even Steven being one of them, Bill Baldwin being another. Siltstrider trying to hold on to the last spot in the top 5, and Scott Timac, the 2018 World Champion, just behind him, knocking on the door for that position. It's been an up and down day for Timac. Was all the way up in the 2nd place position at one point after a wild 4-car battle, and a couple of drivers making a few mistakes, found his way up into P2 and was looking to make it a top 3 day for Team Canada drivers, but around the halfway mark of the race, faded a little bit, lost the track position that he had worked hard for from the pit stop strategy that he had, and he's looking to bounce back into the top 5 and capitalize on a couple of other drivers having worn out equipment towards the end of this race. Timac pit a couple of laps later than Siltstrider, just in front of him. Even Steven knows what's at stake here. Full-timer this season, 2-time world champion. He knows every point matters. He knows that he's quite behind when it comes to being crowned the world champion. Enzo looking to make it 4 wins in a row here today. The most that even Steven can do is perhaps get around that car just in front of him and pick up those 2 extra points that 2nd place offers over 3rd. Stay as close in the battle for the championship as you can, and maybe just hope that Enzo has a couple of bad races. It's really all you can do, but it starts with getting around that driver out of Team Canada, and that being Ned. Timac has worked his way around Strider for 5th. And there you see Strider in the Williams machine. Not necessarily right behind. Oh, yes, he is. He's only a couple of car lengths behind Timac, so it's not necessarily over. But Timac was able to prevail there and complete the pass, and there's not much time left, folks. Under 3 minutes remaining here in Germany. UCJ holding on to 7th. Jesse Carlson holding on to 8th. And there's Shadow in the Red Bull machine, scored in 9th. And Ayrton in the Target car rounding out the top 10. Steffler logging laps, getting very valuable seat time in the Tim Hortons machine, running in 11th. Nearing the end of this one. And Ned doing everything that he can to keep even Steven behind him. It's been a long time since we've had a 1-2 finish for the NOSSCAR World in a NOSSCAR World Championship race for Team Canada, and Ned looking to accomplish just that. The race leader Enzo just hit the start-finish line there a moment ago, and it will be his final lap here at Nurburgring. The clock working 59 minutes and 30 seconds right now, and once it hits 60 minutes, every time a car hits the start-finish line, their race is done. And wherever they're scored on the leaderboard, that's where they will finish. I don't think that many of these drivers are going to have enough time to come around and complete another lap, and we know Enzo won't. And there it is, folks. Final lap for the race leader, and Enzo looking to make history here. Looking to make it 4 wins in a row in a NOSSCAR World Championship season. It's never been done before. It's never been done before on any game in NOSSCAR. 4 wins in a row is quite the accomplishment. Ned is going to claim 2nd. Bill Baldwin going to claim 3rd. Even Stevens going to cross the line to take 4th. Timac with a safe gap over Siltstrider and only a couple of turns left before he comes around to finish in 5th. The main story here is Enzo. Only 1 turn left, and he has done it. 4 wins in a row, and Enzo wins the Nürburgring Grand Prix. What a race, what a show, and what a finish. 4 in a row to start the 2021 World Championship season. He's the favorite to do it all, folks, and win it all. Thank you for joining us here for round 4 of the 2021 NOSSCAR World Championship. And stay tuned, folks. Hit the like and subscribe button on the NOSSCAR Series Racing YouTube channel to stay up to date on the NOSSCAR World Championship on Gran Turismo Sport. We've only got 3 races remaining, and they will all be aired live or uploaded live to the NOSSCAR Racing YouTube channel. Good night, everybody, and stay fast.